Hello everyone, TJ Bellotti again. Thanks for stopping back. Today I want to talk mostly about the beginning period of being a new business owner. As I said before, we've been in business for 25 years. I have seen a ton of people go from being an employee of somebody else to becoming a business owner. And they all seem to kind of take the same kind of arc of development. So I want to kind of describe it to you so whenever you're going through this arc, you're not freaked out, that you have heard about it before so you can expect what you're about to encounter. So what usually happens is people are very fearful at first. They're not real sure that they have the ability. They're not real sure if they have the adventure gear that it takes to kind of go out there on your own. They're not sure if they can have enough business to make themselves successful. They're not sure exactly what they're going to do. They might have an idea of what type of business they're going to be in, but they don't know exactly what to do each step of the way. So typically there's a little bit of fear at first. And then once they finally take the leap and they go from being a full-time employee of somebody else to being a business owner or a small business owner or an entrepreneur, whatever you want to call it, then there's kind of this period of excitement. It's all they can really talk about. It is something they think about all day. They don't mind going out and doing the grinding work that it takes to get the business started. They're always making moves. They're joining chambers of commerce. They're joining industry groups. They're going to luncheons. They're trying to network. And then something happens along that beginning period where all that excitement starts to slow. And either the everyday grind of regular business or the frustration of not growing as quickly as they think they would starts to take a toll on them. And they start to feel like, man, I'm never going to be successful at this. I'm never going to be able to be as good at this as the other people that I see in business, or what the books told me I would be, or this goofy guy on YouTube told me I would be. That period of question is normal. We came out of the blocks fairly slow. At the time, we were pretty young, so we were still more worried about going out and having a good time than we really were building a business. And after a few years, we started to get some traction, some legitimate traction. And then my brother got married, Mike got married, so that changes everything. Now you have to have money. So that made us even more serious. And then through a couple recessions and 9/11 and things like that, we really had to restructure at one point. And you really start to question if you have what it takes to be successful, but you have to keep grinding at it. But what we realized during that period, it was actually right after 9/11, we had to take two pretty good-sized steps backwards before we could start going forwards again. It wasn't a failure. It was just a lesson. We had changed our business model a little bit, and I don't want to get into that right now because it's really not important to the topic. But whenever we changed that business model, it took us a while to get our gears going again, and it took us a while to really start making some traction again. And once we started to, it was actually better than it was before. But first we had to take those two steps back, and then we started to work forward again with the baby steps. And to be honest with you, is the guy that does the bookwork for this company, it was sketchy for a little while. But what you come to realize, and I hope that you get this, is joining the chambers of commerce and joining the networking groups and all that stuff. In some industries, it might be a good idea, but I have never met anybody who made or broke their business on that. Yep, they'd go to a luncheon every now and then. They'd go to a breakfast every other week. But that time didn't help produce anything. Maybe you started out with an employee or two and you weren't ready for an employee or two. Maybe you started out with 8 really good solid clients and you come to find out you can only really service 5. Okay, back up to 5. Get back down to 5 clients. Work them as best you can. Make them the happiest clients in the industry. And then whenever you start to have a little bit of extra revenue or whatnot, then you can worry about subcontracting to an additional person or bringing someone part-time. But there are distinct stages in our growth, the same as there's distinct stages in product development. Organizational development goes through very similar stages. And those first couple periods of time, and every industry is going to be a little bit different, so I'm not going to put a time on them. I just want you to expect there are going to be some bad days whenever you think, I don't have it in me. I don't want to get out of bed. And let me give you a quick solution to that day. Whenever you hit that day, take a few minutes. Go, if you work out, go to the gym and work out and clear your head. Go for a bike ride. Go, if you're a photographer, go take some pictures. If you like coffee, go to a coffee shop, sit down, have a cup of coffee with your favorite magazine, and try to get back to what it is that you really are trying to do. And this is why goals are so incredibly important to set. Because if we don't have goals, as I said before, we are going to end up somewhere, but someone else is going to dictate where that place is. What we need to do is set goals for ourselves and a timeline, or not a timeline, a path to get there. And stay on that path. Take those baby steps. You're going to have bad days. You're going to have days where you think, I can't do this. You're going to have days, and we had them early on, when we were working so much that I didn't have time to really sleep, let alone build the business or develop systems and all this other stuff I talk about. That's a normal growth phase that you need to go through. So be prepared for a lot of fear at the beginning, a lot of excitement for a little while, back to fear and not really sure if you ever made the right step, but keep pounding away, because you never know how close you are to that point where you want to be. And this is, again, why the goals are so important. If your primary goal is you want to be able to do the work that you do your way, then that's what you should be doing. You should be focusing on the work, not the money. Obviously, you have to pay the bills. If your focus is you didn't want to have to work 40 hours a week, you wanted to be able to control the hours that you worked, and you really only want to work 30 hours a week, then focus on that goal. The money will come as long as you price yourself correctly. If your goal was to become a millionaire and you thought starting this business will make me a millionaire, you're going to quit and you're going to get frustrated, and you will say that you'll be one of the people that say, oh, you can't make it in business by yourself because you had the wrong goal. Becoming wealthy, working for yourself, it happens, but it takes a long time. Some people seem to do it overnight. They don't. There is no such thing as an overnight success. So make sure you focus on the correct goals. Expect some of those emotions you're going to go through, and you'll be okay. If you have any questions about it, maybe you're in a certain stage and you want to talk about that stage, put it in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, but put any questions down below in the comments. I'll be glad to touch on them, and maybe I can help you out. Have a great afternoon. We'll talk soon.